So, and I was really happy. It was a dream come true. And, that's really the beginning for us of the journey, the audition process. It's not your job yet. And once you are cast in the role, then the work really begins.
So my story. So I was doing a Broadway musical called Smile with Howard Ashman and Margaret. Yeah, thank you for the three people that saw it. Love that. Love that. So we tragically closed at 60 with the fabulous Frank Rich review from the New York Times. And we were all done. So I was already working a mermaid. And because he felt sorry for us, he invited a handful of us to audition for Ariel. We didn't know what it was, but he's like, you got this audition. So there was something to do, as I say, on the way to the unemployment office, which is where I was going. And so I went in, it was an old fashioned interview, press play and record, and I laid down a few lines, cast the song, I had a cassette tape of Howard singing Part of Your World. So I basically imitated him, and then a year went by, and no callbacks, no nothing. Totally forgot about it. Got a page from my agent. You don't know it. Payphones, you don't know. And I had a roll of quarters. I tell you, this is a long time. I was at 16 Broadway and put it in for my agent and said, what's up? And she said, well, I just want to let you know you got it. You got the job. I'm like, what job is that? You are Ariel. And I said, I have no idea what that is. So I completely forgot. So yeah, that's my story. And we were completely oblivious as to what we were doing. None of us had been behind mic before, didn't know what we were doing, but and had no idea that our film was very important for our feature animation department, which at the time had moved off the lot, which is hard to believe that Disney Animation really exists at the studio. We were up in Flower Street, in Glendale, Burbank area, in a trailer. And that's where the animators were creating our film. So history changed.
Yes, it's the Renaissance, the beginning of the Renaissance for feature animation.
And we had no idea, we didn't understand like why all these people were watching us behind the glass. None of us knew. And the pressure wasn't on us because we were never going to be announced. So we were supposed to be anonymous, which was Walt's way of handling animation, is that you don't need to be distracted about who is doing the voice of so-and-so. So the only way you would know who we were is when you would get your VHS and you freeze frame the running credits at the end. But you couldn't identify who you were, so it's just a list of names. So
And we share the credit with the animator as well. So it would be Jasmine, Ken, and the Larkin.
Yeah.
So
we weren't supposed to be, no one, we would never be doing this now, 39 years later. But they decided, 6 weeks before our film came out to send me on a press tour. And 22 cities in 20 days. And I was like, why? And they said, well, we're going to announce who you are. We're going to put a face and a name with the character. And I thought, that's weird. That's not what I would thought doing animation. So yeah, the very interesting journeys.
That's fantastic. My next question is, when you were recording, making these films, did you think that your characters would become such icons as they are today?
it's impossible to know that. I don't think we had any idea what it would become. We still are surprised. Things continue to grow and change. And, when they brought us all together to do Ralph Breaks the Internet, that was a surprise for all of us. We got to come together and be in a film for the first time together. We had done princess stories, we had done some of the television things that we crossed over, but it was the first time in feature animation that we were all together. It was,
Yeah, we had no idea. I mean, again, because we were going to be anonymous, there'd never be any reason that we would be affiliated with the film unless you did a deep dive search. We were, so it's blows our mind after all these years that we are still here gathering with all of you that, you know, you're the reason why we're here, and we certainly appreciate the amazing fans that we've had. So we're grateful.
So when you did record for your parts, did you work with the other actors or were you like by yourself?
That's a great question because for our cast, we recorded everything solo and we recorded everything with the other actors. And I can't tell you for sure what takes are in the movie came from my solo recording sessions or came from the sessions that I was in with the other actors, except everything I did with Robin Williams, I know came from the session I was in with Robin. It's all improvised.
What was it like working with Robin?
Oh, it was a dream come true for me. I had grown up watching him on Morgan Mindy, which was so brilliant. And he also was in Dead Poets Society, which was like the film of my generation. So to get to work with him was just a dream come true and then exceeded my expectations because Robin was the kindest, gentlest person who put you at ease in person. And I was so intimidated going into it. And from the moment he said hello, I just felt like we can do this together. It was really great. He always made me feel like that for 20 years. Every time we did a press event or a sequel, anything, he made me feel relaxed and special at the same time.
I have one last question, and I'm going to turn it over to the audience because I know a lot of you have questions. And this one is specifically for Jody. There has been some online chatter in this. There's a question as whether or not you're going to sing today.
That's very sweet. They normally when I do my solo panel, I do, and we have a sound check and all of that good stuff. But when I do my princess panels with my friends, I usually don't. But we'll see if we can pull something together. Without sound check and without sound check. Sorry, I was saying without sleep, without food, and without sound check, it's a winning trio.
All right. So maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see. But right now we're going to go ahead and hand it over to the audience because I see we have a line forming. So first question, first your name.
Hello, my name is Kyrie. And I just want to say first, thank you so much for being here. This is a bucket list that I'm checking off right now, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me. My question is, what was going through your mind the first time you saw the final animation of Ariel and Jasmine with y'all's voices on it?
First time that I saw it was a screening, private screening for the cast and crew on the lot in Burbank, and it was still pencil sketch. It wasn't completely finished, and I made a point. My animators and I became very good friends. It became family to me. So Glenn and I spent a lot of time together, as Mark did as well. So I saw the sketches throughout the process, but waited until the screening to see tidbits put together. So Howard Ashman walked up to me and he said, I just want you to know you're not going to like part of your world. And I was like, okay, we're off to a roaring start. This is great. Can't wait. He goes, no, because it's not perfect. And he knew I was a perfectionist, and he is too. So I never had to worry about it. So I would just record and I'd leave. And they'd be like, do you want to hear playback? I'm like, no. You've got Howard in there, you don't need double perfectionist. So I got that right. Plus, I will be here for the next 18 hours working on one line to try to make it perfect. So yeah, it was like a white knuckle roller coaster ride for me. There were moments of sheer joy and moments of terror because it wasn't perfect. But the greatest lesson I learned from Howard was that it was perfect for Ariel. And I had to kind of let that go. So that was my first experience of seeing the film.
My first experience was also a work in progress screening, but it was at MoMA and it was like, Martin Scorsese was in the audience, and I mean, it was just a big celebrity screening event, and I was seeing it for the first time, and I would say it was really exciting to see it like that, to see sort of how they were putting the film together, because I had only been in the recording studio. I really didn't know a lot about how this works beyond what I was doing in the room. So it was really great, and it was nice to watch it with a lot of people that I really admired and respected, and they just flipped out over it. They were so excited, and I thought, wow, we've really got something special here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, just give us your name first.
Hi, my name's Harvey. And can I just say, Jody, you have been the answer to my what celebrity would you bring to dinner question since I was like, I don't know, in fifth grade or something. So
Where's that dinner?
I'm a baker and let me just take care of you.
And that's my Boston friend is here. Sounds like a 5-star Yelp.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Only the best. Only the best. Absolutely. My question was, so the first time I got to see you, the face that went with the voice was at the end of the VHS that they released at the 10-year anniversary, I think it was. And you do the sort of thing at the end, they interview you and you're there by the water. And so the next time I saw you again was in Enchanted and I just squealed. I didn't know, I didn't hear chatter before you saw movies then. So I was so surprised. What was that like for you and Paige O'Hara? Because I know you guys are besties. Getting cast to be in that again.
Okay, well, first of all, filming the beach music video, you just need to know it was 3 o'clock in the morning. It was 32 degrees at Santa Monica. Everybody had on winter parkas and mittens and hats. They brought an electrical cord from a building all the way to the shoreline, hid behind rocks, and had 14 blow dryers blowing on me so that I wasn't chattering the entire time because it was so unbelievably cold. So yeah, I laugh every time I see that little video because I'm like singing this song in my little summer dress. Oh my gosh, 32 degrees. 3 o'clock in the morning because we had to get there before the beach opened. So Enchanted was sort of a joke. So it was, Kevin Lima was our director, and it was his little Easter egg joke to put me and Paige and Judy Kuhn, and it was kind of like, who can find the Disney princess in the movie? So it was like a game. It was just gonna be like a little joke. And I was never supposed to like open my mouth and have lines or anything like that. Yes, go for that. Literally, it was just supposed to be me walking by the tank with the fish and then playing Part of Your World, and that's the joke. But for some reason, I don't know what it was, because I was expecting, long story short, I was expecting a different Patrick. I was expecting Patrick Duffy.
That's very different.
So when I walked onto set, I'm looking for Patrick Duffy from The Office. And it was Patrick Dempsey, and I didn't know who that was. So he comes to me and I'm like, and I'm looking for Duffy. I'm like, and he goes, well, we're doing the scene together. I'm like, scene? I don't think I talk. And then, oh no, you have scenes. You have lines. So it was just, yeah. And I'd never done anything like that. So I kept putting my hand in front of my face and not looking at the red light. It was a total like hysterical joke. But Kevin just had this idea. He's like, this could be so fun. People are gonna look for princesses. So anyways, it was very fun, very silly.
Like grew up with
Very
those
silly.
Disney princesses.
Yes.
To see Paige O'Hara in a soap opera, like in a waiting room, like
So silly.
it's Belle, like an Amy.
Yes, and Amy did put the fish in her mouth.
Yes.
I just want you to know that the beta fish had an agent, a manager, a handler, and I had nothing. I had no entourage whatsoever with me, but that beta fish had 6 people on her team.
And she had a beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, beta 4. Because they could she had 3 standbys. I never got a standby. And because once you put it in the mouth, they're all staring and watching it. And the oxygen bubbles are coming out of Amy's mouth. Okay, beta 2, beta 2. Go. It was the most bizarre scene about the beta fish. And I was just like in awe that this beta fish was so cool. Wanted to get its autograph, didn't work out.
Hi Jody, it's Brandon again. And hello, Miss Linda, very nice to meet you. The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin are my top 3 favorite Disney movies. And a question for you two are, I've seen all 3 The Little Mermaid movies, and I've seen the animated series, and I've seen Aladdin, the sequel, and is it the King of Thieves?
Yes.
So I've seen all 3 of those. So my question for both of you is, what would y'all think, what do you think Ariel is doing nowadays? You know, I've seen the sequel where she's with Prince Eric and they're married in the palace, and Ariel's able to get her fins back with the help of King Triton. Does Ariel go back and forth to the ocean, would you say? Or does she love, you know, still learning about a lot of things on land? What do you think?
Great. So Ariel, they now have 4 children. She's really hoping for a grand merbaby at this point. And she's, she's an entrepreneur. I think she's super smart. And yes, she goes back and forth. Yeah. Because it's all one happy world.
Well, Jasmine is running Agrabah for sure. Oh, yes, yeah, she and Aladdin are doing great. Yes, and the 3rd movie. And I would say probably 4 to 5 kids. Yeah, because we have lots of nannies. So. Thank you. That's a fun question.
Oh, this is
Good morning.
William.
I'm William. Nice to see you. We're delighted.
Look at
We're
that
delighted to
fabulous
have-
beard.
Yes, Santa or Triton, take your choice.
I like Triton. I want you to be King Triton.
I joined the voices earlier to say we are delighted to have you both here. It's such a thrill. I am that cousin uncle that made sure we sold plenty of tickets because I took cousins. My family saw your movies, and so your work has been a part of my life and my family's life for a long time. Brandon was sweet, so my catty question for both of you is, from the parks and the different properties and productions, there are many friends these days of Jasmine and Ariel. But if we could do the Disney time machine, what a journey you've both been on with your characters that you originated. But if you could get in the Disney time machine and steal another princess's ride, what princess would you pick for yourselves? Thank you so much.
An attraction, yes? Like, okay. Are we talking about rides like in the park?
I meant their ride as a performer. Which role, which princess would you
Their journey. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, back in the parks, thinking about my favorite rides. Okay, we could be, well, I mean, we've all been on a similar journey from our era, right? So we have to go maybe to another era.
I think for me, it would be my favorite prince. I grew up with Cinderella, so I'd probably say Cinderella.
So
I thought you meant a real attraction. I'm sorry, I was thinking that literally. Yeah, I think the story of Cinderella for me would be fun too.
I love that one. I think for me, my girls were Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella as well. And since Jody's gonna be Cinderella, I'm going to be Snow White. I think we could be in the same era again. Okay.
Hi,
Yes,
Jody.
wait.
My name is Zach, welcome to Huntsville. My question is, what was it like working with the great Alan Menken, and do you have any stories you'd like to share about him?
Well, Alan and Howard are brilliant. Howard was
unbelievable. Alan is brilliant, funny, kind, um, incredibly humble. I don't know if you realize this, how talented he is. Maybe a little bit of an imposter syndrome, maybe. But yeah, anytime that I get to work with him is a dream. So when he's at the piano, it's just home. It's home for me. So I'm very thankful.
I love Alan too. I obviously didn't work with him at the piano, but I've done so many events with Alan and he was always the kindest person. And I agree. It's like he doesn't know he's Alan Menken. We're like, you're Alan Menken. Oh, it is. But I think he's just so busy working all the time that he just never stops to reflect on what he's achieved in his life. So that's probably where that humility comes from. Mm. Thank you.
Hello, ladies. And just for Jody, and bear with me, guys, this is nothing against any of y'all, but Jody wore evil.
Or damn Eagles.
Mess around with the roll tide, like,
That's why I wouldn't offend anybody.
but I had to. The best
I
I
can
can
do the war cry right now if my husband were here, but I want to.
I mean, the best way I could describe you ladies is just balls of light. And just thank you so much for just sharing that with us this weekend. We can't thank you enough. But for Jody, how awesome is it that you're getting to do projects and collaborations with your daughter right now? It is so awesome to
Yeah.
see you.
It is. It really, truly a dream come true. I get to work with both of my kids. My son was the assistant to the executive producer on Sweet Magnolias for season 3 and 4, and I joined on season 4. So we got to work together last year. Going to work it was amazing. And then my daughter and I have been working together quite frequently. We have a concert in Orlando in July, and it's just, yeah, anytime I get to work with her, it's just a joy. It
Is
really
there
is.
any projects that you can share just so that we have it on our radar that she might be or your son might be?
Yeah, well, actually, my son is now with 101 Studio Films on Tulsa King for the next year with Slice Film. Then my daughter and I are doing a concert, I think it's July 5th in Orlando in Winter Haven, so that'll be fun. Yeah, so I'm thankful. Yeah, thank you so much.
Sweet.
Hello.
Abigail.
Oh, hi, Abigail.
It's good to see you.
Abigail and I have a special connection to Jasmine.
Thank you. It's so special getting to see you here, and the Disney princesses have such an iconic role, I think, in little girls' upbringings and have such a special impact on my life personally. And I love the lessons that they teach us about kindness and resilience and being who we are. So I was wondering if there are any particular lessons or takeaways from your story, your characters that you still carry with you today.
I love resilience. I think that that's such a wonderful word to bring up, especially as the world changes so rapidly. And I think that resilience is something that as performers, we have innately, but we really need to call on it sometimes to continue to remember why we're doing what we're doing, to continue to believe in ourselves, even when things might get rough and that happens in life. That's life. And I think that being resilient and staying in it and staying connected to what you love is what really brings you through life in a positive way.
Well said, she's like, really?
I think the qualities I've learned from Ariel are she has a tenacious spirit. So she just keeps plowing forward no matter what. So I definitely have gravitated towards that character quality. The other quality that I love about her is that she's inclusive and she loves unconditionally. So I feel like I've learned a lot about that. Inclusivity and that unconditional love, especially now more than ever. But yeah, those are those qualities that I really love about my character.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. Thank you both for being here. Linda, I loved your story about working with Robin Williams, and Jody, you talked a bit about Alan Menken. I was wondering, Jody, my favorite behind the scenes video ever of any film is the video of Howard Ashman coaching you on your performance of Part of Your World and really honing in on the line deliveries of every line and keeping it small and intimate. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about those sessions, working with Howard to really hone Part of Your World to make it the special performance that it is.
Well, I was fortunate because I had Howard standing inside the booth with me for my entire time. And I think my original animator directors, Ron and John, which are yours as well, Ron Musker and John Clements. No,
John Musker and
Clements
Ron
and John
Clements.
Musker. That's what happens when you don't sleep. John Musker and Ron Clements, sorry. And they were so gracious because Howard we had just worked together. He was my director. And they just let him kind of step in, which was really amazing that they kind of stepped aside. So rather than being behind the glass, we have theater backgrounds, so he just came and stood next to me for all of my sessions, which means he has to be completely silent, even when he's breathing. And otherwise it's gonna pick up everything. So he just stood here the whole time. And I mean, I could not have done Ariel without him. That's why Ariel is so much of him, you know, that he gave birth to her through his interpretation of her through me as well as through Glenn Keane, my lead animator. So yeah, it was an incredible experience. Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nicole. My question actually changed while I was in line because you got on the tangent of rides. My question now is, what is each of your favorite Disney ride at any Disney park?
I have a new one. So the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. I won twice in a row. And that was it. I was like, I could not go the third time. It was amazing.
So, oh yeah, okay, so my go-to has always been Everest Expedition. So like, and my record is 14 times in a row.
Oh my.
I've done it in sleet, I've done it in snow, I've done it in pouring rain, and I've done it in 140-degree time. So it's like I'm a diehard Everest. So then fast forward to like the preview of Cosmic Rewind and the president at Jeff Ollie. So anyways, Jeff's like, you're gonna love the show. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm a diehard Everest. And he goes, we're riding this. We're doing this. I'm gonna go and you're gonna be right behind, and then I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna wait for you, and then you're gonna tell me how to. So I got up and I did not want to say it. I didn't want to say it. And I was like, oh my gosh, Cosmic Rewind is right there. It's right there. So I did it 5 times that night because the goal was, and then recently I had to do it all the times to get all the songs. I think there's 6 songs. So I had to get all 6 songs. Are there 6 songs? 6. Okay, so I had to do all 6 songs. I just had to experience the whole. So now it's Cosmic. Cosmic's here. Everest is right here. Right there.
Yes, for the question, thrill or chill, we're thrilled.
Ladies, I got to meet Paige O'Hara last year, and I mean, you guys, and if next year they could bring in Mandy Moore, I'll let that, all of my assessments. So whoever's in charge of that. I have a question for both of you, if that's okay. So Jody, you were the first princess movie after Sleeping Beauty, which was like 20 plus years later. And Sleeping Beauty did not do well at the box office, which is crazy because it was amazing.
Yeah.
And they weren't like sure about, you know, if people were going to like another princess movie. Were you like nervous that Little Mermaid wasn't going to do well?
That's where I had no clue of what was going on with the studio. They really kept that hush hush for the cast, which I appreciated. But we definitely
Complete nerve authority.